I noticed the weight before I noticed the object. My backpack felt heavier than usual when I got off the bus, like something had settled into it while I wasn't looking. I shrugged it off at first. Long day. Overtime shift. My back wasn't what it used to be. I'm 41. Divorced. 2 jobs. Just trying to stay afloat like everyone else I know. When I got home, I emptied the backpack on my kitchen table. Lunch container. Work gloves. A folded bill I couldn't afford yet. And then something I didn't recognize. It was wrapped in dark cloth, tied tight with a thin cord. Smaller than a paperback book. Dense. Cold when I touched it. My heart skipped. I checked every pocket. Every zipper. I live alone. No kids. No roommates. No reason for this to be there. I didn't open it. Instead, I sat down and tried to breathe. In America, you learn early, if something feels wrong, you don't ignore it. You don't assume it'll fix itself. I drove straight to the police station. The front desk officer took one look at the bundle and asked me to step back. Another officer came over. Then another. No one raised their voice. That's what scared me most. One of them unwrapped just enough to see inside. His face drained of color. He looked at me like I wasn't a citizen anymore, like I was a question. "Sir," he said slowly, "where exactly did you find this?" I swallowed. "In my backpack," I replied. "I swear. I don't know how it got there." The room went silent. And that's when I realized. Whatever this was. It wasn't just dangerous. They didn't hand it back to me. That should have been my first clue that my life had just split into before and after. "Put the backpack down," the officer said, calm but firm. Slowly. I did exactly what he said. My palms were slick with sweat, my heart hammering so hard I could hear it in my ears. Another officer appeared from a back hallway and quietly locked the front door of the station. The click echoed through the room. "Is this some kind of prank?" I asked. "Because I swear, I just got off the bus. I went to work. No one's accusing you," the first officer said, but he didn't meet my eyes. "We just need you to stay still." They took the wrapped object into a side room. Through the glass, I saw them put on gloves. One officer made a phone call and used words I'd only heard on the news. Potential device. Unclear origin. Requesting bomb squad. My knees nearly gave out. A device. I thought about the morning, standing at the bus stop with kids heading to school, nurses heading to the hospital, people just trying to survive another workday. I'd been one of them. "Why would someone put that in my bag?" I whispered. An older officer finally looked at me. His voice was softer than the others. "Sometimes," he said, "people use someone ordinary. Someone who doesn't stand out." That word, ordinary, cut deeper than fear. I'd lived my whole life trying not to be noticed. Keep my head down. Do my job. Don't cause trouble. And now, somehow, that had made me useful. A loud knock hit the station doors. More officers. Serious faces. A woman in a dark jacket glanced at me, then at the backpack, then back at me like I was evidence. "You said you took the bus?" she asked. "Yes." "Which route?" I told her. She nodded slowly. "That route passes 3 federal buildings." My stomach dropped. Whatever was in my backpack hadn't ended up there by accident. And the scariest thought of all crept in. They moved me into a small interview room with gray walls and a single camera in the corner. I wasn't handcuffed. That scared me more than if I had been. A woman introduced herself as Agent Morales. Federal. Calm voice. Tired eyes. "Walk me through your day," she said. I told her everything. The bus ride. The stoplights. The way I always sat near the back because my knees hurt less there. The man who had taken the seat behind me halfway through the route. I hadn't noticed him at the time. Why would I? Morales' pen paused. "Describe him." I tried. Middle-aged. Baseball cap. Hoodie. Ordinary. She exchanged a look with another agent. "That's the problem," she said quietly. "He blends." They pulled up bus camera footage on a tablet. I leaned forward as the screen flickered to life. There I was, headphones in, staring out the window. Then the man. I watched him stand as the bus slowed near a crowded intersection. In the grainy footage, His hand dipped toward my backpack. My breath caught. "He never sat back down," Morales said. "He exited at the next stop." I felt sick. So I was. What? A delivery? An unknowing one, she replied. "That's how they avoid detection." They told me the object wasn't explosive, at least not in the traditional sense. It was a data device, shielded and modified. Dangerous in a different way. "Whoever planted it will want it back," Morales said. "Or they'll want to know where it went." My skin prickled. "Am I safe?" I asked. She didn't answer right away. Finally, she said, "We're relocating you for the night." That's when it hit me. This wasn't over. I wasn't just someone who found something strange. I was now connected to it. And somewhere out there, a man who blended into crowds knew exactly which backpack he'd used. As they escorted me out through a back door, I glanced at the night sky and felt something unfamiliar. Not fear. Awareness. Because, you never move through the world the same way again. They didn't take me home. They took me to a building with no sign out front and no windows anywhere you could see. Concrete walls. Quiet halls. The kind of place that exists so problems don't spill into the public. Inside, they gave me a bottle of water and a chair that felt bolted to the floor. "Until we know more, you stay here," Agent Morales said gently. "This isn't a punishment." It felt like one. Hours passed without clocks. My phone was gone. So was my sense of time. I thought about my life, how small it had felt lately. Work, sleep, repeat. No drama. No enemies. I kept asking myself the same question. Why me? Near midnight, Morales returned with another agent. "We accessed part of the device," she said. "It was designed to pass undetected through security. Not to explode. To listen." "To what?" I asked. "People," she replied. "Places where conversations change outcomes." My mouth went dry. They showed me a still image pulled from the device, bus interior audio markers, location pings, timestamps. And one more thing. A text file. "Drop confirmed, subject unaware." Subject. Me. "Whoever planted it thought you were safe cover," Morales said. "Someone no one would question. No criminal record. No political ties." I laughed once, bitterly. So being invisible almost got people hurt. She didn't disagree. Then she leaned in. "We think the person who planted it will try to recover it. And we think they'll reach out." My heart pounded. Reach out how? Morales slid a phone across the table. "It rang 10 minutes ago," she said. "They asked for you by description." My hands Morales spoke quietly. "If you answer, we listen. If you don't, they disappear and try again with someone else." I thought about the bus. The kids. The ordinary people who'd never know how close they came. I picked up the phone. "Hello?" I said. And on the other end, a familiar calm voice replied. "You weren't supposed to notice." I recognized the voice instantly. It was the man from the bus. Same calm. Same ordinary tone. Like he was asking for directions instead of stolen property that could ruin lives. "You did great," he said. "Just tell me where you left the device." I looked at Agent Morales. She gave a barely noticeable nod. My chest felt tight, but my voice came out steady. "I turned it in," I said. "To the police." There was a pause. Then a soft chuckle. "No, you didn't." That's when I understood something chilling. He wasn't guessing. He was used to people lying because they were scared. "I noticed," I replied. "And that was your mistake." The line went dead. Within minutes, alarms sounded somewhere deep in the building. Morales moved fast, barking orders. Screens lit up. Locations traced. Patterns matched. They caught him that night. Not because I was brave, but because I stopped being invisible. Later, as dawn broke outside a windowless room, Morales handed me back my phone and my backpack. "Empty now. Harmless." "You did the right thing," she said. I nodded, exhausted. Changed. When I finally rode the bus again weeks later, I noticed everything, the faces, the tired eyes, the quiet trust we all place in strangers every day. That's the truth about life in America. Most of us are just trying to get through the day. We don't think about danger. We don't expect to matter. But sometimes, being ordinary puts you at the center of something extraordinary. And when that moment comes, you have a choice. Look away. Or speak up. I still live a simple life. Same jobs. Same routes. Boo. Not because I'm afraid, but because I finally understand this. Your life matters more than you think. And paying attention can save more than just yourself.